What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Derek, and in today's video we are talking about the Meta smart glasses that they did in collaboration with Ray-Ban. These smart glasses, super dope. However, a couple big issues that I ran into, more of, I guess, my own fault, but also not really. But there's definitely some things you want to watch out for if you decide to pick these up, but there's also some really great things about these glasses that I want to touch on. So let's go ahead and jump into our review of the Meta Smart glasses. First things first, I love creating video content. I love taking photos. I love making videos. I have 4 different YouTube channels. I have this tech channel here that you're watching this video on right now. I have a vlog channel. I have a gaming channel. And I also have a podcast channel, which admittedly, I don't really post on anymore. So I guess technically 3 YouTube channels that are active. And honestly, to me, it all falls under the same category of technology. Videography, photography, it's digital cameras, things like that, technology. So I've always had a love and affinity towards them, and I've always loved testing out new gear. So I've used quite a bit of smart glasses. Google tried to come out with their original smart glasses, as well as the original spectacles by Snapchat. These would be really cool. It sounds like the quality is probably there to where I could use these as just capturing video, point of view, POV footage throughout my day for my vlogs specifically was my thought. And so I decided to pick them up because there was also some other interesting things. Number one, the biggest thing being the new Meta AI that is built into these smart glasses. If you don't know what Meta AI is, it's basically a virtual assistant, kind of like the Amazon or Google version, but the same thing as what Amazon and Google has. However, it's an LLM, which is a language learning model, so it is more closely related to ChatGPT. If you don't know what ChatGPT is, ChatGPT came out big a couple months ago. It's been coming out for a couple years now at this point. But it really had its big update when ChatGPT 3.5 came out, and then ChatGPT 4, where it just really kind of stepped it up a level in terms of what these AIs can do. And so when these also included Meta's new AI based off their Llama 2 model, that's when I really became super interested in these, because I had been using at that point ChatGPT on a daily basis for a lot of content creation work and a lot of things in my life. And they had a first version already of these, and this version promised quite a bit better visuals in terms of the photos and the videos, as well as better sound quality, as well as a better 5-point mic array, which I think helped out a lot with these. They're kind of like the first smart glasses that really look like normal sunglasses, normal glasses. They use the Ray-Ban Mayfair. They're super dope. They say Ray-Ban on the sides. They got it on the lens in the corner. It says Ray-Ban up here. So all the Meta, logos are here. And then where it says Ray-Ban Meta Wayfarer is all on the inside. So when you are wearing these, they look quite well. There's not any kind of tell that lets people know that they're smart glasses unless you go to take a picture or do video. The main way that you can tell they are smart glasses is when you go to take a picture, which you do by just pressing this button right here on top one time. Boom, picture taken. You'll notice that the light on the right side, the left side of the glasses if you're looking at them, flashes a white light when it goes to take a picture. When you're recording a video, which you hold down for a second, now I'm recording the video, you can kind of see that it kind of like lights up, but it also kind of pulsates a little bit. And then you can just press it again to end the video. That's really the only way, in my opinion, that you realize that these are even smart glasses. Obviously, you do have the light and the lens here on the corners of the device, but honestly, the way that they look and the size of them, from any type of distance away from you, it just kind of looks like it's almost part of the design of the sunglasses themselves, and not necessarily, a immediate tell that it's a camera and a light. The sound volume is definitely much better. I have been enjoying that 100% compared to the first version. What up, dude? I got a surprise for you. I can't tell you yet, it's a surprise. You're gonna love it. Yeah, it's at the house. They definitely are louder. They're definitely more bassy. And I will say up to about 50% volume, Nobody sitting like next to you, they are not gonna hear the sound coming out of the smart glasses into your ears. At about 70 to 75% volume, people will start to they can hear something, but they won't be able to make it out. They'll notice kind of there's a little bit of sound coming from somewhere. They might not even be able to tell exactly where it's coming from, especially since you don't have earbuds in, like you sometimes notice with people wearing earbuds that are turned up a little loud. And at 100%, you definitely get quite a bit of nosebleed to where people are going to tell that there is volume coming from you. But even then, it's still hard to make out what that is. However, at 100% volume, what I have found with these is that the volume does tend to degrade quite a bit kind of once you hit that. The sweet spot for kind of the volume, the sound of these is around that 70 to 75% mark in my opinion. I think overall, they sound great, especially when you're doing things like a call where you're just talking with somebody. And even again, music and everything, as long as it's not cranked up to 100%, I think they sound great around that 70 to 75% mark. Now, you could say that you could pick up a pair of just smart glasses that just are Bluetooth and speakers, and you could still use like ChatGPT, and that's true. But again, going back to the video and the photos of this thing, it's actually quite impressive for the size of it and stuff. Like when you take the video, when you take the photos, whether it's post-processing, and not actually the hardware, they come out good. These things have great dynamic range. They nail the exposure and stuff most of the time. Sometimes they fail just like your cell phone. And while they may not be quite the same quality as like a flagship 2023 cell phone, but let's say you have the iPhone 15, is it gonna equal that camera? Absolutely not. However, is it maybe the same as like an iPhone 12, an iPhone 13? Absolutely. And is that good enough to use in pretty much whatever you wanna use it in? Yes. For example, I throw the clips from these things in my vlogs, and most of the time, you don't really notice. The one downside to the video and the photos in these things is that it only shoots vertical photos and vertical video. I believe if I remember right, it's 1920 by 1440. So it's a little bit over 1080p. So you do get a little bit of more resolution than even like 1080p. So they are, I think they call it HD+. It works because even if I do want to use them in a vlog or something, and I just want to cut out the middle section, it still looks really good and I'm still capturing most of the middle of the frame. Or even if I want to throw it in a vlog and I want to use the blurred backgrounds on the sides, it still looks great in a 4K vlog when you watch it on YouTube and stuff. Is it 4K footage? Absolutely not. It's never gonna be. But is it passable? Does it work? Is it just kind of look like cell phone footage? Yes. Which at this day and age, cell phone footage is good enough. In fact, there's a lot of photographers and a lot of videographers that simply shoot on cell phones at this point, including myself. I use my cell phone a lot for photography nowadays because it is so easy compared to a traditional setup DSLR or mirrorless camera where then I gotta go into Lightroom and edit it. This thing, the software in these things also do most of the work for you in terms of all of that. They say the battery life on the glasses is about 4 hours. With the carrying case, you're supposed to get about 36 hours as the carrying case is actually a battery bank for the smart glasses and it's not just a carrying case. The way that it works is you have these two little nubs on the nose of the glasses there. And inside of the case, you also have these two little nubs. When you fold them up and set it down in there, they make contact and you'll see the button here kind of light up. It's green because they're fully charged, but if they're not fully charged, it'll turn orange. Has a little magnetic flap, bada bing, bada boom. Very nice case too, in my opinion. It's an ultra wide lens, 12 megapixels, so it captures enough data in that video, that vertical video, that most of the time you can have your subject kind of in the middle, that even when you expand that out, they're still in frame perfectly. Because the camera is a little bit off to the side, you got to kind of get used to it, but the first little while you use them, your subjects will be a little bit to the side. If you've ever used GoPro or the Insta360 Go 3, where you can put it on a hat bill or something, it's in the middle of your face, it's right here. You kind of know how it's set up and you're good to go. These, you don't have any kind of screen. You don't have any kind of, like the Insta360 Go 3, you can put the little thing in your hat clip or whatever. You can have the little device and kind of see on it, what this seeing. With this, obviously you don't have that. It would be cool if they could add it into the app at some point. So it would be cool if they could add in like a live viewer within the actual MetaView app, but currently that does not exist. And I don't know if they can or cannot, but it would be cool if they added in landscape video. You know, these are kind of made for Facebook, Instagram, for social. And so it makes sense, you know, that's the format they like, is vertical. It takes up more of the screen on a cell phone. Like the type of clips you just want to capture in life most of the times, like that you would use like a cell phone for. So we're not talking about like professional videographers or photographers, but just the everyday user. Even taking out your phone, you know, you're talking about from like getting it out of your pocket, double pressing the button here, you know, switching to video or photo, whichever one you need, hitting the button, boom, picture taken. You know, you're talking anywhere from probably 5 to 10 seconds, depending on your model of phone and how fast, you know, the hardware is and stuff in it, before you're actually recording a video, which means you could completely miss whatever it is that you were trying to capture. With this, with that single press, I mean, you're literally recording a video within like, it's not even a full second, honestly. It's gotta be like half a second, I feel like. And you can be recording video at any point as long as these things are charged. Now, in terms of the LLM is great. If you've not used a lot of LLMs yet, if you're not a real big techie person, you probably don't quite understand the power of having an LLM in your smart glasses. Having the ability to use something like the Meta AI, or having something like being able to pull up ChatGPT on your phone and talk to it back and forth through this, which again, I know you can do with a normal Bluetooth headset. So just to kind of give you like a little bit of an example. So let's just say I'm on lunch break, and I have done this personally. You can literally talk to these things like you're talking to somebody walking next to you and have a conversation with them. Hey Meta, I'm trying to think of some ideas for some tech videos I can do for my YouTube channel. Can you give me like 5 different ideas? So what it did there is, I know you guys can't hear it, so let me explain. So I asked it for 5 topics, and it said, you know, you could do some reviews on some tech products. It said you could talk about artificial intelligence and machine learning and where it's heading into the future. Now, and those are general, but then what you can do is you can then ask it to, you can say like, you know what? I did pick up this item, and this item. Which one of those do you think would be best to do a review on? Then you can continue the conversation like, okay, let's start writing a script for it. And then you have a full transcript of the conversation on your cell phone. Whether you use Meta AI, and as long as you don't turn it off in the settings, whether you're using Meta AI or whether if you're using ChatGPT, you'll have a text transcription of the conversation that you can pull up later on your phone, on your computer, whatever, and go through and, you know, have a full script that you discussed with this AI. There is a reset button on the inside of them. If you ever need to reset them, you can press and hold that down. So it does have a physical button for resetting these if there's an issue. And the only other physical button, as I said, is this, you know, actual shutter button for either, you know, single pressing, taking a video or photo, and then long pressing for the other one, depending on what you choose in the options. Where like you can touch the side over here and it'll pause or play your music. You can swipe forward like this and it'll increase the volume. You can swipe back and it'll decrease the volume. So they do have a little bit of touch controls as well. That's pretty much the tech of them. So let me just talk a little bit about just kind of the design, the comfort of them, things like that. So I ended up getting the large version. They have a large and then they have an XXL. That's always what I see. It says the large is what fits most people. So unless you already know that you have a very large head, the large will probably fit your head. These are the large and they fit my head. They are a little snug. They do put a little bit of pressure here. Nothing that you're not going to get used to after using them a couple times. In terms of comfort, these things are lightweight. I mean, they feel like I'm just wearing a normal pair of big plastic sunglasses. The arms of them are a little bit more thick than what would, you know, maybe be a normal pair of sunglasses, but honestly, not much. But even when you're wearing them, I mean, I don't think they look big, bulky, or anything like that. They're comfortable enough that I can wear these things for hours outside with no issues. If you do find it to be a big issue, the nice thing is Meta or Ray-Ban does offer like a 45-day no questions asked return policy with these things. I will also say they're IPX4, which is great. That means that if it's raining a little bit, you're not gonna have to worry about that. You're not gonna have to worry about sweating in them. If you're exercising with them on, you're not gonna worry if it's raining. They're not waterproof. And you know, if you're having a torrential downpour, well, you probably aren't gonna wanna be wearing these things out in that. When I got these, when they first came out, you could get these in sunglasses, like I have here, or you could get them in clear lenses. My thought was when I got them, like, oh, I wear sunglasses all the time outside. And I do, and especially in the summertime. But the lenses I got are dark enough that they are almost impossible to use indoors. In my office, I have pretty bright lights, so I might be able to use them in here a little bit, but still, even with computer screens, like it makes them pretty dark. If you get the clear ones, then you have the opposite problem. You have the clear ones, they work great indoors, you go outside, they don't work. And my immediate thought was, man, I wish there was transition lenses for these things. At the time, there wasn't. So now being out for 2 months, they actually do come with transition lenses. You don't have to get prescription lenses. It can just be normal lenses that are transitions. But anybody that had already purchased these is kind of SOL. But if you do go to purchase them, I would highly recommend you spend the extra $97, which take these from $299 up to like $399 basically. Now the cool thing is, if you did already purchase these glasses and you're for some reason watching this review after purchasing them and you're no longer in that return window, you can still go to any LensCrafters location, and again, probably Ray-Ban store or Sunglasses Hut, but what's near me is the LensCrafters. And for that price of $97, you can have them send out your glasses and get them replaced with transition lenses. I think these are something you will use for years to come. As long as the quality of them is good enough that these things last for a couple years in terms of like the internal components and stuff aren't breaking, wearing down. I think for $300-400, even $400 with the transition lenses, I think these things are a steal for what they are and what they are going to do. I'm a big fan of them. I would highly recommend checking them out. Please consider hitting the subscribe button if you like tech videos like this, reviews of new tech products. I think they're dope. I think you'd enjoy them. I think even the normal tech person, the normal techie person that might not be super hard into new type gear, I still think these might be a very useful tool for you. Thank you guys so much for watching. Love your faces, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Until then, peace out, everybody. Later, nerds.